I'm the eldest of the grandchildren, and spent a fair bit of time with my grandmother and grandfather. My folks owned a grocery business at that stage. In those days it was 7 days a week and to all hours of the night sort of thing. So they were pretty much babysitters for quite a long while with us, so we got to know them fairly well. Probably not a lot about his footballing and sporting prowess, more as a man himself, and he was a wonderful person to be with.
I remember him as a very upright man, both in character and posture. He was a very good athlete, and I remember when I was a boy saying I was a very fast runner, challenged him to a race, went out in the front street and he beat me. So I wasn't as good as I thought. He
loved if you did well in something, but you didn't have to do well as long as you tried. That was what it was all about. He wasn't sort of one of the ravers, you've got to do this and you've got to do that. He was an exceptional man.
We know that his father, George Davison Moffat, came over as a prisoner for forging and uttering. He eventually got a ticket of leave and his freedom, and married in York. Despite his background coming from a convict father, he finished up the testator of wills, I think it was, in the state government, very high position, but he was strictly honest and down the track. He was a state champion walker and record holder, won a Perth to Fremantle Go As You Please. He was a state cricketer and played seconds and league football in the olden days. Yeah, so he's very much into sport. I do know he won a batting average, and he was a bowler in the state team in 1893. So he must have been a very good athlete all round. He probably was only an average footballer if one can gather from what happened, but I think with his administration and his strict adherence to honesty, I think he would have done a lot for football. He was the longest serving president of the Australian National Football Council, and he came in after Charles Brownlow, but Brownlow's been remembered and he hasn't. The Sandover Medal was introduced in 1927, and the rules weren't totally formulated at the time. And it finished up a tie between Tom Outridge and a footballer named Hoft from Perth. Tom Outridge played for Subiaco. It was a tie, so in those days there was no countback system, and they decided, Mr Sandover decided that the way to do it would be for the president to cast a vote. So Grandpa cast the vote for Tom Outridge, even though he was a life member of Perth. The rules don't allow that to happen now, of course, with a countback system, and if there's a tie, in any case they both get a medal, so I think that's a good idea. If they're that close, they should. If you look at his handwriting, you can see he's a very tidy-minded man, and probably attention to detail, strength of purpose and honesty, I think, would be his attributes. I think it's very important that he's recognised as an administrator, whereas mostly this recognition goes to the outstanding sportsman, which is fair enough.